Hello, if I haven't said it already, and it's a bit late now, really, Happy New Year. You might know that I have not been around since I did a live chat a couple of weeks ago, and my usual weekly videos they just haven't been there because, to be honest, due to bad health, bad weather, and just this what can seem like quite a dreary time of the year, there's just been nothing to show you at all. So, I mean, I could go up and dig something up and replant it and pretend, but I'm not going to do that to you. So I thought what I'd do today, I'd just sit you at the kitchen table, show you a few of the gifts I got for Christmas, have a little chat about this, that and the other, and tell you what our future plans are going to be. Okay, some of you might have noticed already that the channel name on YouTube, on Instagram and on Facebook has now changed from Jane's Allotment to Jane's Growing Garden. And the reason for that is this year I want to be able to introduce stuff from my home garden as well. You all know the allotment, you probably know it back to front by now. And I just thought, you know, it would be quite nice to see what I do at home as well, which is far more flower-based, shrub-based, tiny garden. There isn't really room for any vegetables. So I just thought it'd be nice to bring you along to there as well. So I know quite a few people have said it's really strange because we've known you now for 7 years. 7 years! We've been going for 7 years. So yeah, we've known you as 7 years as Jane's Allotment, and it's quite weird for me as well. But Jane's Growing Garden is the way it's going to be going for the future. It is the only name change I will have. It will not be changing again. So you can hold me to that. So yeah, that's just to explain that a little bit. Okay, it's that time of year where we take a little look at what we've got for Christmas. So I've got a strange array of gifts I'll put this year. And you know what it's like when you tell someone that you really like growing your own vegetables, they think, right, thank goodness for that, we'll get them something vegetable growing based for their Christmas. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. But first of all, I think one of my favourite presents are these gauntlet gloves. And if you have not seen a gauntlet glove before, I mean, they are very much James Herriot, someone pointed out. So yeah, you know, if you're wearing them as you're going through a country field, you might come in handy. But what's brilliant about these is, unlike your standard garden gloves, they go right up to your elbow. These are leather, so they'll last forever. Leather will last forever. That's a tongue twister. But yeah, really, really pleased with those. So what it does is when you come to do things like, one of my jobs coming up will be pruning the raspberries. Anything that involves this bit of your arm entering some sort of perilous adventure, they're really, really good protection. I have had a pair from a dear friend that has done me now for the 7 years, and they are just starting to go. So to have a new pair of these is great. So yeah, if you've already got a whole load of gardening gloves, consider getting yourself or asking someone to get you some gauntlet gloves as well, because they're really, really useful. So they were my sensible present. And then I got this gorgeous book. Now I've got, I don't know how many books to do with gardening itself and growing vegetables and herbs. And I'm sure you've probably all got shelves full. But this one is actually called The Forager's Calendar, and it's absolutely lovely. Last year I got the seasonal almanac, and it's very, very much in the same sort of vein, in that it's just lovely. It tells you all about what you can go out and forage, and at a time of the year where I'm starting to see the wild garlic popping its head through the soil. It's got some great things in it, so I'm really, really pleased. It's a proper sit and browse when you're sitting by the fire with a nice cup of coffee and enjoy type of book. And then I got a present that I had neither asked for or even thought I needed. Which can very often be the case. And if I show it you closely, first of all, the first thing I saw was this plastic. Okay, this plastic thing, I did not know what it was at all to begin with. Then it says black food marking ink. Now, I don't know. I had no idea where this was going because this was the next biggest thing in the pack. But then at the very bottom of the pack, it's just, can you see? It's just a little marking of a chicken and it's actually a stamp. And on the other side, it's got a little chicken and underneath it, it's got our name. So it says the Kelly Egg Company. So from now on, I don't think I will be doing it to all the eggs. But if ever we're passing on eggs, which we very often do to friends and family, I'm going to think about stamping. This is the ink stamp. I'm going to think about actually stamping our little mark on them. So I thought that was just really good fun, really thoughtful little gift. So, you know, there's all sorts out there at all different costs. If you want to cheer someone up who's got some chickens, have a little go with something like that. Talking about all sorts of costs, our dear neighbour very kindly came across the other day with a couple of Christmas presents that he thought we might be interested in. There's one for me and there's one for Mike. And again, actually, these are really useful. Seen them before? I have actually had these before, not this particular variety, but basically they are little, what are they? Little attachments that you screw onto the top of your pop bottle and they form little watering cans so that you can water your seed trees. You just seed trays, you just squeeze the bottle and the water comes out nice and gently instead of flooding them with anything. And actually, they work really, really well. So I was really, really pleased to get these. So do, if you're considering getting something for someone who gardens, you know, something like that. It seems like the smallest thing, but honestly, really, really good. And the other thing, and this was a treat to myself, is something that I've wanted for a long time. And by the time I ever get round to ordering them, they're out of stock. So this year I've managed to get some, and they're these Container-Wise. I am not affiliated whatsoever. These Container-Wise seed trays. Seed trays? You know what I mean, modules. And you know, you hear people talking about just how sturdy they are and the fact that they've got the holes underneath so you can push your plant through without disturbing the roots once you need to transplant. But I didn't quite expect them to be as sturdy as they are. I feel like I could stand on them and they would really take my weight. So I've got this one, which is 7 by 70. I got one of those. I got 2 of these, which are 5 by 2 of these, which are 40. So they've got slightly bigger things. So I thought they would be absolutely fantastic. Starting off your squash plants, that sort of thing. I've got 2 of those. And then, oh, have I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, then I've got 2 of these, which are the 28 ones. And again, bigger again. In fact, these are squash plants. I think the others would be better for tomatoes. But really, really impressed. Now, they were about £5 each. And below a certain price, you have to pay £5 for delivery. So this has cost me roughly £30. But I think that is an investment because these are going to last for years. And one of the slightly more bizarre presents we got was something for our wood-burning stove, which we've actually got here. But it would be absolutely perfect if we had a stove at the allotment. And it's this. Now, I wonder if you can guess what this is before I tell you. It's got a little lock on there. It's very, very heavy. It's cast iron. And let's see if I can open it. If I open it, you'll see it becomes 2 cast iron pots. And the idea with this is you actually put your baked potato, or you put your potato, freshly scrubbed potato that you've just dug up. Imagine that. You pop it in there, you close the lid, you lock it, and you leave it on your wood-burning stove for however long you were at your allotment for, and it warms through and it actually bakes the potato. I think it probably takes about an hour at least to do, but what a brilliant thing. Your tea can be cooking on the stove so that by the time you've finished all your jobs at the allotment, you open this and it's ready. I mean, obviously you can use it as pans as well, so you can warm things through. You could scramble an egg in there, you could do anything, but that is just absolutely brilliant. I've got no idea what it's called, but you can, you can clearly bake a brilliant potato in there. So they're my presents. Tell me what you got down below. Did you get any the same as me? Let me know. I mentioned earlier that the channel is coming up to its 7th year anniversary at the end of this month. And with that, you'll have seen, if you've been subscribing from the beginning, thank you so much. But you'll see the journey that we've been on. I am going to do a review video at some point, hopefully before the end of the month. But we have gone from a very small allotment to quite a large allotment now. And we have taken it, as far as the structure is concerned, pretty much as far as we could. But you know what things are like? You just start to think, yeah, but what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did the other? So one of our main plans this year is to sort out our blue shed, which is at the bottom of the plot as you first walk in, and double it in size. And with that, we're going to make it more of a, instead of just somewhere where we can store our tools and one person can go and sit down and sit at the table, which is great, because we can double the size, we can make it more of a, I don't know, an entertaining area, a living space, a dining area, whatever it takes. We, as you know, we've got the table at the top end of the plot, which serves for all of those purposes. If we've got people around, if the weather's dry, but obviously if it's raining, if it's blowing a hoolie, if it's freezing cold, how nice it will be to just be able to retire to the shed, get a little wood burner, change the layout a bit, and then this time of the year, we're thinking we're going to be set up this year, we're going to be ready. But you know what things are like. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm not usually sitting at my kitchen table. I am usually up in the garden doing something vaguely interesting, but it's just the time of year. So thank you very much for coming along. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and next time I'll see you in the garden. Bye for now.